Alrighty, welcome ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for the Overwatch League Asia All-Stars Showdown. I am Achilles, and I'll be bringing the action alongside Wolf as usual. And oh boy, Wolf, do we have a very stacked day of action for the viewers at home.
It's going to be a long day of Overwatch here, so strap yourselves in, get some snacks, and to let everyone know that you're basically not going to be around for a while. You're going to be watching a lot of APAC All-Stars. You're going to be watching for about 6 hours or more. All the content that we have coming you guys' way. We've got some special announcements and some really cool tournaments that are going to be played throughout the day, ending with our amazing All-Star match.
Yeah, you can see the schedule there on your screen at the moment. Starting things off, we're going to have our skills challenges bracket coming through, starting off with Winston, then moving into Genji, then Ana, and then we'll dive into some of the other game modes. This is our prize pool here. All-Star Game winner, $90,000 USD on the line for that. And then Widowmaker 1v1, the winner of that will be able to walk away with 15K. So we got fat stacks on the line here, Wolf. There's a lot to play for.
Yeah, there's a lot to play for here. There's a lot of pride on the line. And I think that, everyone always wants to talk about the money and the stakes. It's the Widowmaker 1v1. There's so much prestige. But I think there's a lot of fun to be had in this set of matches that we're going to have today as well. Like, there's going to be some silliness. There's going to be some craziness. You and I are going to be commentating game modes that we've never cast before. And Winstons are going to, fight against each other by playing wrecking ball soccer, essentially, or football if you're from Europe, not to offend anyone. But, we're going to have some crazy stuff coming at you guys.
I don't think that's going to be that offensive. You and I are actually just hanging out with Neptuno last night. He's from Spain, and he was saying soccer. So maybe he's just too acclimated to U.S. culture at this point. But I think we can get away with saying soccer instead of football. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's some very creative game modes that the team has put together for this, for this event for this weekend. And then, of course, the NA All-Stars is going to be happening a week from today. So I'm excited to see how this is going to go and which Winston will be able to walk away victorious after knocking the most wrecking balls into the well, because that's what they're going to be aiming to do. It's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, there's so many different things that are going to come into these sort of matches that like you and I haven't really thought about in terms of casting, right? Like, talking about rules here, going into this first match, the Wrecking Ball matchup is going, or it's not, it's a Winston matchup that involves Wrecking Balls, and the rules are kind of complicated. I'll let you get into them, Achilles.
Let's pop up on your screen here now. So it's going to be 1v1 single elimination. It's unlimited primal rage, so you just get that ult ready to go. You're constantly going to be swinging and knocking back the wrecking balls. You get 1 point for knocking a wrecking ball into the well, 1 point if your opponent knocks a wrecking ball off the map, and then 1 point if the opposing Winston falls off the map. So you will lose points for yourself effectively if you accidentally send him off the side or if you yourself go off the side of the map or into the well. So you want to be as accurate as humanly possible getting those otherwise inanimate wrecking balls into that well.
And there's some strategy to potentially knocking your opponents off the side as well. Like, you can try to go for a knockoff kill, so to speak, and then you'll get a point that way as well. So, sometimes you might want to be, you might be like trying to push somebody away from getting a point, but then you actually put them into a range where you might actually be able to knock them off the map, and then you can actually score that way as well. Then go back to your wrecking ball and try to knock that in, so you can get kill two birds with one stone while your opponent's knocked off the map. I'm trying to, I'm a color commentator, right? I'm an analyst, so I'm trying to think of like all the ways that you could optimize this Winston 1v1.
Yeah. Well, taking a look at our at our 4 players there on the screen for you. So, of course, we have Guxue. We've also got Gesture and Fearless stepping up to the plate alongside Mano. All of these guys going to be competing. Like we said, single elimination, so we're not going to be seeing everybody play against each other. This is not a round robin. But starting off, we will have Gesture versus Fearless, and then obviously they'll play against the winner of Guxue versus Mano, and then have a showdown, see who the best Winston is, at least when it comes down to knocking wrecking balls into a pit.
Yeah, it's a 1st to 2 for the first 2 matches, and then the finals is going to be a 1st to 3. Like our traditional Overwatch League games would be. First player to win 3 rounds will take it. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Do you have a favorite, Achilles? Who do you think is going to take this one?
Oh, I don't know. Probably Guxue, just because he's Guxue, but Fearless could definitely put up a really strong performance. He's been probably, I think, the most, probably the strongest Winston that we've seen in the latter half of the season, at least in the APAC region. Gesture, I'm curious how much these guys have been practicing for this, because obviously Gesture can play Winston, but he's been playing a lot of Roadhog lately, so maybe he's going to have to brush up a little bit. So if he hasn't put in the hours to practice up, he might not be able to take down Fearless.
I mean, that's a good point. You know, I do wonder, like, of these two, like the skill set required to use Primal Rage to knock objects around is actually usually centered around, you know, in professional play, it's actually usually centered around locking someone into a wall where they can't escape. So it's actually a very different skill set to putting an object into a well, for example, trying to actually get that ball into a goal, essentially. Now, obviously, sometimes you will, in those competitive moments, try to, on like Ilias well, primal someone into the well to kill them. But it's actually much more common to actually just lock them into a wall where they don't have any escape options and kill them that way. So it's a little bit different, actually. And I think this sort of 1v1 test is going to be a test of broader primal range knowledge than just, or primal rage knowledge, I should say, than just simply looking for kills, you know, in the corner.
Yeah. But you never know. Maybe we're going to, because of this, create a new game mode that'll be playable in the arcade, so you can get your, you know, like your daily loot boxes and all that kind of stuff. Instead of a Lucio ball, it's just 3 Winstons in the soccer arena trying to play against each other. That could be interesting. But you can see here, Fearless leading Gesture in every single metric this season as far as Winston play is concerned. And, you know, this goes back to what I was saying, that he has been maybe the most impressive Winston that we've seen, definitely in the APAC region, but perhaps across the entirety of the league.
Yeah, Gesture's had a lot more success on other tank heroes this season. The recent Roadhog you mentioned already earlier, Orisa, for example, early on in the season and late last season, are the heroes that he's excelled on more so. And it's also important to note that when you look at stats like this, like Seoul has been very up and down throughout the season. And, you know, Gesture, he's had some really great moments across the season, not so much on Winston, but it's not as much as some of the other Winston players we have. But he's definitely coming in as an underdog. But the stats can kind of be misleading sometimes when you're almost undefeated like Shanghai is. And, you know, those stats do kind of get bloated and inflated sometimes that way. But I think Gesture might surprise us. I think he's a very smart player. And, you know, he's definitely someone who... I could see him practicing for this, like, pretty hard. I could see him actually, like... going in and saying, all right, like, what's the best way to move the Wrecking Ball around, and trying to figure out kind of how to min-max this, because he's just an intelligent player. He's got a really strong work ethic. So I think he might surprise us, even though he definitely comes in as the underdog in terms of like actual Overwatch League stats and background.
I mean, maybe he has been putting in the hours to try to practice up for this. I'm just curious if the Seoul Dynasty would allow him to. Same for the side of Shanghai, if they're going to allow Fearless to take the time to practice.
Hey, in his free time, he can do whatever he wants, all right? He can do whatever he wants.
That's true. That's true. I don't know how much free time they're getting right now. I know that all the teams right now are on the grind trying to get prepared for the playoffs and whatnot. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Like I said, I think it's going to be too close to really sway one way or the other, given that this is a new game mode. And a different style of play from what we're seeing typically from Winston. So I think that this one's going to be very much more up in the air as far as who can take away a victory from somebody. I don't think there's that much of a clear front runner, but we'll have to see what happens when we do dive into that, and also how, you know, the matchup of Guxue versus Mano is eventually going to unfold, and which of those two is going to be advancing into the final of our Winston skill match. So I'm excited. I can't wait to kick off the action. I know we're just waiting for the players to get settled in their lobby, and then we will be able to jump in. But it's always fun coming together for the All-Stars weekend, the talent takedown and whatnot. Unfortunately, you and I, Wolf, will not be participating in the talent takedown, given that we're here. We're in Korea, so not going to be playing on ping over to North America at some ridiculous hours. We'll just be...
We'll be casting the Asian
commentating this whole
takedown.
Yeah, all today.
Yeah.
We do have that, yeah. We do have the Chinese commentators going up against the Korean commentators, so that could certainly be a fun little, you know, rivalry coming out. I'm excited to see how those guys go. But you can see here on your screen, we do have Fearless and Gesture getting warmed up right now, getting ready to jump in and see who will be victorious.
Yeah, looks like it's we're getting into it. Looks like it's it's about time to get things underway. This is actually pretty crazy.
Already just shoving the balls forward, trying to get them over to the front. You can see both of them going to be dropping into the pit simultaneously.
All right, well, going to get the reset, obviously, now. That's going to be...
Oh, Jester getting it just a little bit sooner.
Yeah, it's kind of like... It might end up being more like a speed run type of competition here, to be honest. Just based on how that played out. Like, it's almost like it's a race to see who gets the ball in first. I suppose if you leapt forward, you could try to block the other person, but there's a pretty big risk involved in that, right? Because you might end up just, yourself, like, overextending. You miss the block, and then you don't have your ball to push in. So, yeah, I wonder.
All right, well, here we go. We go straight back into the action. Fearless already having the ball right up next to the pit. It rolls back through, but you could see, again, I believe Gesture getting that one in. Or is this the replay? This is the replay.
Yeah, this is the replay.
My bad. I thought we were in for the second round. I was so wrong. Here we go. I can read. I didn't notice the replay thing at the top, but here we go, pushing the balls forward. They get him up through main. Fearless has to get his around the corner. And oh no!
Misplay.
It's getting ready to go off the side of the map, and that is going to be a point. Give it over to Gesture. Now you can see Fearless trying to knock Gesture off the side of the map here. Trying to get the smacks in, but he can't quite displace him enough.
I don't think.
Yeah, the reset is just going to be too good, so this should just lead to, Gesture picking up a point as Fearless had a little bit of a botch.
Yeah, it was just kind of a little bit of a misplay there. Like, he bumped it into the I don't know, the side of the wall there that, like, sent the ball obviously towards the left side of the map instead of sending it to where he wanted to put it into, like, towards the center. So just kind of a small mistake there, but ends up leading to Gesture getting the free win. So this is kind of played like some of the 1v1s we saw last year, like the Widow 1v1s obviously, but then like the more weird Doomfist 1v1s we had last year where it's based on round. So because of the way that it's based on rounds, you just, like, if you make a mistake like this, here's the replay. I don't know if you guys see that there, but the replay says it's sending off there, and that's just the end of the round, right? So you can't just, like, you can't, like, turn the round around because it's just the round ends. I think you can actually get a point if you kill someone before the game resets, but that's so unlikely since both players can jump.
He might be. Yeah, I think he can. I think he can basically nullify the point loss if he were able to kill Gesture there, and that would make it kind of just like a null and void. But doesn't manage to make it happen. So that is Fearless eliminated. Maybe you talking about Gesture as a bit of a dark horse in this, might be able to find the upset. Maybe that's going to play out because he is able to advance. And now we get ready to jump in for the second matchup of Guxue versus Mano to see who will be joining Gesture in the final, the grand final of our Winston skill match.
Yes,
it's
that
truly high stakes and
truly the best test of Winston's skill.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I think this is more exciting than the actual grand final is going to be.
Yeah, you think so?
Of the Overwatch League. Yeah, I think that this one is going to be just the height of everything. Nothing will ever surpass this in the rest of Overwatch history for how exciting this final at least is going to be. But Guxue versus Mano, who do you have for this one?
I mean, I think everybody wants to. I think everybody wants to lean towards Guxue here. But I mean, again, he's famous, as the primal blade, right? The primal rage that's as good as a dragon blade because he gets so many kills with it. That's kind of the nickname for this player across the world. I think it started in China, obviously, and kind of pushed into the Overwatch League when he joined Hangzhou. But yeah, he's really famous. He's perhaps the most famous Winston player in terms of primal rage that the world has. But again, it goes back to the thing I was saying earlier, where it's like, the skill sets required to be a god tier primal raging Winston in an actual Overwatch League competition and knocking a ball into Ilias well are different. I still favor him, but like Mano's perhaps the most consistent main tank player of all time. I mean, I think we have to talk about that, right? So this one could go either way. And based on how crazy those first few maps went, like, I think you just never know. You just never know.
You got to get the right. You got to be thinking about the angles. When you're trying to get around that initial corner, can't hit it with as much oomph as we saw there from Fearless to send it off the side of the map. You got to be a little bit gentler, take your angles more intelligently. This is almost like playing mini golf, I feel like. And Fearless just kind of like really just hard stroked on the ball there and just sent it off the side. But here we go, taking a look at our metrics for Guxue versus Mano. Similarly, it is going to be Guxue who is leading over Mano, but barely in some of these metrics here. So pretty close across the board, but Guxue is able to inch out on top.
Yeah, I mean, Hangzhou...
Clearly that didn't matter for the first match anyway.
Hangzhou definitely played a lot more Winston this year than York Excelsior did because they were playing like that Winston Zarya style more than anyone else really early on. They stayed on Winston longer when teams were changing their composition. So, you know, Guxue ends up being arguably the most experienced Winston player in APAC this year as well in terms of play time. Like, he's played so much Winston. And that was kind of one of Hangzhou's big playstyle differences throughout the year. And, you know, in some cases, they looked really strong on it. Some cases it actually came back to bite them, you could argue. But yeah, he's had a good year of Winston, and he's probably happy for it, to be honest, after having to play so much Reinhardt last year.
Very true. Finally got a little bit of a chance to shine with the Winston. Unfortunately, didn't carry them into the global top 4, but still looked good while he was operating on that pick, which is exactly what we've come to expect from him. Just because, like you said, his reputation very much precedes him.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think you're harder pressed to find a more popular Winston player than Guxue right now. Arguably, is he the best Winston in the world? Like, maybe not right now, but he's definitely the most popular. I mean, everybody knows it.
Well, Guxue did say that if he could make it into All-Stars, he would cosplay as a female on the stream, and that's exactly what he's doing right now.
He's got the dress.
I gotta say, I absolutely respect him upholding his word, and it looks pretty good. The hair looks good on him.
Yeah.
Maybe he should consider this as just being a permanent thing.
I mean, if he wants to, sure, I suppose.
I don't know. I think it looks good. Might as well stick with it. But already, oh boy.
Well,
straight into the game. You can see that the action
has already scored.
Yeah, he's just kind of dunked on him right there. Even got the corner onto Mano and was locking him in. Obviously can't kill him without sending him off the side of the map, but Guxue showing that prowess on the Winston.
Yeah, let's see if he does that
so
again.
A very fast first round.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he does that again because, like, if you can actually do that consistently and prevent Mano from scoring, then you just kind of win, right? So
yeah. This is the replay. Look at the rebound.
Angle. It's so good.
Oh. That was just, and that's what I was talking about. See, you could see that Mano was making the same exact mistake, sending that wrecking ball just about to go off the side of the map. But Guxue playing the angles properly.
Oh, Mano, he's just done, dude. He's just.
Oh no.
He's just done.
Well, this isn't great.
That was not a good start. That was not a good start. Well, that was the end of Mano's 1v1 Winston skill challenge career. Oh no!
Oh dear!
Oh, that was palm tree right into the GG.
Man, the NYXL fans are gonna have so much disappointment in the Reddit threads after this one. Record.
Look at Guxue's face too. He's super calm. You know.
He's just like, yep, this is that's what I do. I'm the Winston god. And takes down Mano with the fastest 2-0 that I've ever seen.
I don't know why, but he looks like he's taking a support call. Like it's like Mano called him and he's like, yes, how can I help you? And Mano's like, my ball went off the side after it hit a palm tree. And he's like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. You're just going to have to wait until next year.
He's like a telemarketer.
Yeah.
Or he's doing one of those, like, telemarketing charity events. And he's just like, yes, hello, how much would you like to donate for this cause? And Mano is like, 2 points. I'll donate 2 points to you. And he did. Well, hey, we have our final coming up.
Yeah.
Because,
well, I have to say,
clapped.
I very much favoring Guxue now. He looks like he's got it under control. Like, Gesture didn't make any major mistakes, but like he still looked like he was feeling it out. Whereas Guxue looks like he was born to play the APAC 2020 Winston 1v1 skill challenge. Yeah, I think this is going to be one-sided. I'm calling it right now. I don't think Gesture has any chance.
Well, you never know. Maybe Jester can just clutch this out. We're going to find out in a moment as we get ready to jump into our grand final of this Winston skill challenge to see if he's going to be able to come up with the upset or if Guxue will just make, similarly quick work of Jester. It's the battle of the G's coming out. So we'll see which one is able to come out on top. So Seoul versus Hangzhou. These guys have clashed numerous times throughout the season, but Seoul going further. Can that happen today, or can Guxue rectify the past and set things straight here by coming up with a
Can't
victory?
spell GG without 2 G's, Achilles. I think we're in for a good game. I don't think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be one-sided.
I'm wondering, like, no one has broken away from. Obviously, there's only been 4 rounds so far, but no one's broken away from the ball and just tried to go and disrupt the opponent.
Yeah, I just
I'm
don't know.
curious to see if maybe Gesture does that.
Is it possible to do it like fast enough? Like for the first map there, I actually got I missed the beginning of the map, so I actually thought that he blocked. I thought Guxue actually went in and blocked and then scored, but then obviously when we saw the replay, it was like no, he's just actually perfect. And then Mano just he had his own plans for the second round that didn't work out,
yeah.
But. I wonder if when this was tested, because I imagine this was actually made and tested by people who are not, World Cup fame and insane primal raging pro gamers from the Overwatch League. So I think probably in testing, people were like, "Wow, yeah, it's like really hard to get the ball in, and it's fun because you can try to knock the other guy off." But like with these guys, it's like, no, it's never gonna happen. It's a speed run. It's a race. I don't know. That's my take so far.
Yeah, I don't know. It certainly could be the case. It seems like Guxue maybe did practice a little bit, got somebody to just maybe play Wrecking Ball or set up a bot or something and just kind of sit right at the start and then figured out the angles. It's like if you play, one of those games like Golf with your friends or Golf It or whatever is on Steam these days. Like, you could just figure out exactly how much power to apply, what angle, and then you can get a hole-in-one every single time. It's all just about learning and making sure that you're getting those angles right. So maybe he put in enough time to figure out the exact line that he needs to hit to get that rebound shot off the pillar to send it into the well.
It's kind of like when you play pool. Like on one of those games, like one of those old N64 like billiards games, where like you can see the angle, you learn the angle, or like Bubble Bobble, the shooting version of that. I don't remember the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, where you aim the balls and then you line up the colors.
Yeah.
It's like you just learn the angle to bounce and then that's it. Like it's more like that than it ended up being more of a finesse game actually, which is what I expected it to be. But that's the fun thing about these weird 1v1 challenges. You just never know. You just don't know. All right, here we go.
We mastered this one with science, but yeah, should be jumping in. Here we are. And off the bat, rolling them forward. Getting up to the corner, Guxue just a little bit further ahead. Has to leap up over the top, tries to play the rebound angle. Pushes it back to the other side, misses the pit. Where is Gesture? He is not there yet.
But he might
knocks the ball
win this.
over, goes for the rebound. He had the setup for the next shot, but he's unable to find it. So Guxue does manage to score first.
What a recovery. What a recovery from Guxue there.
Yeah. It was looking pretty tragic at the start.
Yeah,
but a little bit more tragic for Gesture.
His jump where he went over the grate, like he actually, I was like, wow, he knows exactly where to jump perfectly. But then even still, like he actually couldn't get the ball. He couldn't get in between where the ball was and where that wall, the grate was. So he couldn't actually like hit it straight into the finish line. But then he just hit it twice perfectly, like once more to the left, and then like he has this angle. Then he's just like, yeah, nah.
Just rolls
he's already
in,
like
denying
Gesture. Wow.
All right. Well, first to 3, Guxue, 33% of the way there. Similar pace right now. Gesture pressing forward. He's looking for the rebound shot. Botches it though, and Guxue has already gotten the score. We're gonna have to see a replay of that one to see just how he made that happen, because
I think
that was pretty clean. It looked like he was further away, but he made up for lost time.
I think he had the same bounce like we saw in the first map with him and Mano. I think. I actually don't know. I guess we'll have to see the replay. I couldn't tell you it happened so fast. I'll be honest with you guys. Like I think I'm a pretty good Overwatch League analyst, but Winston skill challenge 1v1. I've still got a little bit more research to do.
Yeah. Well, Interesting to see.
Tens of thousands of esports hours of commentary, you know, but nothing could have prepared me for this.
Why does it say 1-0? Didn't Guxue score?
I thought so. Okay, so this is what. Okay, here we go.
Oh, did he send it off the side of the map? He sent it off the side of the map.
It was an environmental kill. Okay.
Okay. That's we're getting debated because of the knock off the side. I was gonna say there's no way that Guxue would have made up for being that far behind.
That makes sense.
Yeah, just kind of botched it like Gesture might be doing right now. He's looking and it's going off the side yet again.
Well,
oh, no.
Gesture might just steal this one away, guys. This might be the biggest upset in Winston Skill Challenge history.
By no effort of his own. It's just Guxue sabotaging himself by misplaying.
I think this could be
Achilles,
I'm telling you, this could be the biggest upset in Winston Skill Challenge history.
It really could be. I think we're on the path for that right now. Oh dear. Well, one more to go. The question is, will Gesture actually score in order to win this, or will Guxue just mess it up yet again? We will find out as we jump into the final round. He's looking to get around the corner.
He tries to hit the angle, but he hits it just a little bit too far to the right.
I just can't get that angle again.
And those guardrails are just simply not helpful. Those are not safe. Those guardrails are not
versus
safe.
Mano, he had this completely scienced out, but he's just kind of messing it up here.
Okay, Gesture's having some trouble
slow and safe. Ball is set up, it's rolling forward, and that will be Guxue scoring. So we will have a tied-up series, 2-2. It all comes down to this.
All comes down to this.
First to score.
I mean, you've got to keep your mentality straight. Your hands are shaking. You know, you could be the very first Winston Skill Challenge champion. And people always remember the first champion. People still remember London Spitfire. You know, Gesture used to be on that team, not so much anymore, but you know, first champion always remembered. And we know that the Winston Skill Challenge is going to have a legacy for many years to come. The block there.
All right, well, there's the replay.
Pure perfect shot.
Well, one more round. They're out the gates. Ball's rolling forward. Both of them going to get caught on the side of the wall here. Leaping up to get a reset, a decent angle.
Ooh.
Guxue trying to push it forward. It's got to be cautious. This is the corner that has cost him 2 rounds, basically.
Oh, I think he might get an angle here. He might have an angle.
They're both in such a prime position right now. It's just going to be about who can get it first, and it will be the ball rolling forward there for Guxue to take it. He does get it in the end. 3-2, down to the wire. So very close, but you can see the smile on his face now because he is our Winston Skill Challenge champion.
Very impressive stuff from Guxue. I have to say, you know, I was really feeling like we might have an upset there for a little bit. You know, it looked like he might have actually choked away an incredible finals after having such an unstoppable lead up in the semis. You know, it looked like he was the big favorite.
What a tear!
But he
what a tear! A royal roader of the Winston Skill Challenge.
Royal roader, indeed. The very first Winston Skill Challenge champion crowned here today.
Oh dear. Well, we'll get a replay of the final moments as he was able to roll that one through. Just taking another look at it. Yeah, and then he got the emote off, beating his chest. So. Solid stuff from Guxue here at the end to take this away. So, yeah, he continues to reign supreme as one of the best Winstons in the world.
I think I'm having too much fun with this. I'm enjoying this
really
way
silly.
more than I thought I was going to. But we have Genji coming up next, so a little bit more of a deadly challenge. The next one, no wrecking balls getting knocked into pits this time. It's bloody.
Yeah, so this one's gonna be about actually fighting each other rather than trying to just play weird soccer or golf. I guess it's more like golf, really. But we will have our Genji challenge coming up, and then Anna after that, I do believe. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one again to see who's gonna be able to come out on top, because we do have a plethora of very strong Genjis getting ready to square off against each other. Similar format though. It's gonna be first to 2, then first to 3 for the final.
But
single limit.
Very excitingly, Achilles, it's time for some role star reveals. You excited about that?
Oh my goodness. I am excited about that. So let's go ahead and take a look.